What's up, power hitters, solar warrior tribe? Today is Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual solar pro, alongside my co-host Jonathan Bernasso, and this is Power Hitters Training. If you're catching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow solarpreneurs. Jonathan, what's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm doing amazing. Good morning, Jarrett. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the ladies out there and your wife, especially, and Cynthia, and all the mothers there. I think we just celebrated a very awesome Mother's Day weekend, and we have a lot of the best women in solar at this company. So just thankful and gratitude and ready to crush the week. How about you? Defund the utilities.
Yeah, man, this is I love this shirt. For those that can see it, pick this one up. It's SolarCon. They were doing custom made shirts, and definitely had to rock this one, and even got the Powur logo on the sleeve.
Nice.
It was awesome, man. So seeing if maybe we can even get this on poweroutlet.com, I think it'd be a good one. It would be a hit. We're in a constant battle with these utility companies and these monopolies trying to break them up. So yeah, awesome shirt. And yes, shout out to all the mothers out there. Excellent Mother's Day celebrated with my wife, the mother of Unicorn. It was just an incredible weekend. Weather was perfect. And yeah, shout out to all the ladies and mothers that are in power, as you mentioned before this recording. Cynthia, Michelle Bunch. I mean, there's a ton of them and they rocked a killer women's Power Hour last night. So for those of you that weren't able to attend it, definitely check out the recording for that one. It was incredible.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so we have an exciting training for all of you guys this week. Really excited. Mr. JC Rangel is going to be doing a training for new starts, like where to get started with power. And he's always bringing the fire, as always. So looking forward to jumping into that. But we're going to kick this off like we do every week with success stories. So if you're new to power, if you have a success story, if you closed a sale this past week, new team member, any adversity you had to overcome, raise your hand, put it in the chat. I'll call on you. And let's get this thing rocking. Jose has his hand raised. So let's get right into it. Jose, brother, what do you got for us? Share some wins.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Anyways, the Lakers totally cheated, but let's get past that.
Wow.
So anyways, here's the big win. I went to an install yesterday. It took Owen and I a while, like a year ago, to get people comfortable about solar. We ended up with 30 panels on a barn. And anyways, I went to Costco first. I got these guys pizza. It was really hot out, so I got a bunch of Gatorades. This is a team I've never met. You guys have no idea how happy they were. They're like, you guys are the first power people that ever show up. We've never been treated like this. So I got their personal cards now. Now when projects start hitting the fan down the road, hopefully they don't, we have personal contacts to contact them. So take care of your team. That's all I got to say.
Amen with that. Absolutely. Take care of others and you will be taken care of on the back end. That's cool, man. Glad to hear that, brother. Great job.
Especially with summer coming up, guys. It's going to be 110 in Vegas, 100 in SoCal. These installers work their butts off to install our systems and not make a ton of money. So love that, Jose. Thank you for that reminder, especially with summer coming up. Buy them Gatorades, buy them chips, buy them sodas, waters, anything. Pizzas if you're even going above and beyond. Super.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's move on. James, you have your hand raised. What you got, sir?
Yeah, happy Tuesday, everybody. I have a friend in my old home state of Massachusetts, Kevin, and when it first opened, I let him know about power, and he was interested. He had to do his roof, and he said to me, what makes you different? Why should I go with you? I have other companies give me pricing, and thank goodness I had watched Charles Thompson's red line presentation versus cost of good. So I was able to confidently present it to him, and he was on board. I just spoke to him actually, and he's going, He has a triple decker that's going to be going solar with us. And he has a house in Puerto Rico. And he has a boatload of people that want to see what his solar looks like when it gets done, to want to jump on board. So, it just shows the power of just taking massive action and continuing to follow up.
Great job, James, man. Yeah. So he's getting solar on his own place, joining the platform. He's going to be selling solar, taking off in our brand new market. We just launched Puerto Rico, right on. Excellent. You got some serious momentum there. So great job, brother.
Thank you.
Very cool. Very cool. Looking in the chat, Mr. David Steele has 2 Maui utility bills and 5 new Maui real estate ambassadors. Excellent. Mr.
Aloha.
Steele building some momentum. We're going to be launching Hawaii, hopefully end of
June.
next month. Yeah,
End of
sometime in June. So that will be exciting. Anybody else have any other wins that they would like to share? Don't be shy. If
Not
not,
sure if Kevin's trying to share here, but I'll share a quick little story, Jerry. So yesterday I met with Marisa and Jacob Swodek and Cynthia Alvidrez and also Sarah, and we are planning a real estate a meeting in a ballroom. We want 150 people. The date that we landed on is July 13th, and it's going to be 9:30 to 12:30 in Diamond Bar, Southern California. And so it's just really cool to come together as friends. Like, I literally sat down, like, having coffee and breakfast with friends. Like, these are just people we're catching up with, and yet we get to plan an event that's going to be fun. And guys, once you're here for a few years, like this is just friends and family and hanging out and catching up, and it doesn't even feel like work. It was a beautiful day. We met outside. We're planning an epic event. Everyone can build into it. And I just wanted to share that quick story and win that anything is possible here when you come together, and the friendships that we develop. It's really not work with the freedom and flexibility that we have. So anywho,
thanks for sharing that, Jonathan. That was an
Yeah.
excellent win. Hey, you're absolutely right, man. It doesn't feel like work when you do what we do, helping people out. Helping everyone out, right? Helping homeowners out, helping them go solar, go green, put equity back into their home, save money, helping out, teammates, helping them grow their businesses, helping them, earn money for their families and provide, having people gain time freedom and flexibility. It is truly a win-win-win for everybody here. So
absolutely
appreciate that. And then I did see there was a Rangel in the chat that said he had 4 installs going on this month. So congratulations there. That was Luis Rangel.
nice.
Yeah. So cool. Thank you everyone for sharing your wins. Let's move on.
All right, thanks, Jarrett. And just a few updates before we get into the training today. Shout out to everyone on the Powur Leadership Advisory Council for Q2. These are the top 5, 6, 7 income earners, personal sellers, mentors, and recruiters in the entire company. All the names here. So congratulations to you all. We have a few events coming up. Mark your calendar. Saturday, June 3rd is an all-day training from headquarters you don't want to miss. June 3rd. And then in person, we'll all be there. September 7th through 9th in San Diego is Powur World. So we have 2 great events, a virtual and an in-person event coming up. But as JC will tell us in just a second here, besides his amazing podcast that he just launched an awesome video yesterday. If you haven't watched it, check it out on YouTube or Spotify. But another thing that he does is an annual Mentor Factory, 2-day event, July 21st and 22nd. This one is going to be in Downey, around LA, Orange County area, 2 days, 9 to 5. and you want to get your tickets at mentorfactory.net. He brings in trainers like Danny Pesci and other top entrepreneurs and top sellers. Like Jarrett's going to be flying in to speak at this event, and it's going to be epic. So June 3rd virtual, July 21st in person, and then we're going to round out the year with September in Power World San Diego. It's going to be super, super epic.
By the way, JB, the website is mentorfactory2023.com.
Beautiful. Yeah, so make sure to check that out. Mentor Factory 2023. There you go. There's the website. You can watch all these great videos and who you're going to learn from. Danny Pesci is amazing. Great. Great, great, great. Tons of trainings here. Take a screenshot if you want. All trainings, empowercalendar.com, lease, PPA, Women of Power. If you're new, our onboarding, building with Bobby on Friday, market development calls, and so much more, guys. And then today is the quick start training with JC. And then, as I mentioned, Mentor Factory and Power World coming up as well. Make sure to take your battery certification training. If you haven't already, you won't be able to sell batteries if you haven't taken that. And more details to come on that event, but just to put it in here, July 13th in a Diamond Bar, we're going to have an epic real estate event that we'll be able to build and invite into as well. Before we get rocking and rolling, just a quick reminder on the topic of the training today. My brother was gracious enough to create solarmasterguide.com, and it really is like the Bible of power. And it's going to be some things that JC is even going to touch on today. So you have welcome, steps and trainings and office hours. You have steps if you're new, what to do, trainings to do. We got fast start training here, probably one of JC's that he did before, and so much more. Trainings, tools, recruiting, Sonova, NEM3, batteries. If you want to learn about enterprise, it's all in solarmasterguide.com. So use that as a reference point as you watch the training today and as you dive into a lot of these tools and resources. But Jarrett and I know many of you are excited to learn from the #1 mentor in all of Power. JC Rangel has been gracious enough to come on here and train the team. And we got some feedback. That some of this can be overwhelming if I'm new here. Some of this, if I'm green and I'm new, your trainings are pretty intense. There's so much information. And the response is that we're going to bring it back to basics, guys, especially right now with NEM3 in California. We have to go back to basics. How to call a warm sphere, how to join networking, how to post on social media, don't be a secret agent. All the basics. This is the perfect time if you're new or if you're experienced. So JC Rangel, thanks for being here, brother, and thanks for providing a great training and all that you do for Power. The ball is yours. Let me make sure you are off mute. You can share your screen if you need to. JC, just make sure to
Calling JC Rangel.
make sure to come off of mute.
Where's he at?
Where'd he go? I think he was jumping on a different device or something.
He's logged in on 2, but he's muted on both. Here, I'll just ask them to unmute. Well, while we're waiting for JC to come on board, yeah, man, as you mentioned, some of this stuff, there's a lot of training we do here at Power, right? I mean, that is one of the huge advantages when you join this platform, is that there's no shortage of training. You could spend weeks and weeks and months training, going over videos and stuff like that. So we have all different levels of it. And yeah, we do try to do some advanced training with the Power Hitters training to kind of get into the weeds a little bit because it's necessary. But we are for sure going to be bringing it back, and we're going to be starting it off right here. JC, are you on here?
Yes, sir, I am.
There he is. What's up, brother? All right, man. The floor is yours.
Thank you, my brother. I didn't realize you guys were gonna call me already, so I wanted to make me a coffee, and I put this guy here, but I guess he didn't trick you guys. So, all right, let's get started. I got my little bobblehead here. My wife gave this to me for Father's Day last year. That was a pretty cool gift. Thank you, JB, and thank you, Jarrett, for all you guys do. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here, share some words with the team. I'm always up for helping. You guys are helping. When I asked Jarrett to come out and speak at the Mentor Factory, he was like all about it. So, that's a culture that we have here, right? We help each other. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking because we got to get to this training, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen, and let me move this 1 second. So the Fast Start training is something that I've been doing for 22 years, right? I learned this in the direct sales industry. And as a new person, this is what I get them to go through first. So the first thing that happens is I get my new people to go through, obviously, the certification. Once they're done with the certification, this is a training that I have them go through. So when they go through this training, and once they have completed this training, then we do what's called a game plan interview. But this is, in my opinion, the most important training that people have to go through. So that's what we're going to get into here today. So let's get started here. So launching your Powur brokerage. One of the things that I started saying in 2020 is I said I started my solar brokerage. I had never heard anybody saying that before then. Maybe there were people saying that, but I didn't want to make it seem like I'm just a solar guy. And really, that's what we have. We are solar brokers. We have a nationwide solar brokerage. So I want to get my people in the mindset of you have your own solar business, which is the truth. That's what they have. Okay. So you're going to find one of these three categories when you get started with the business. Number one, you either are somebody that wants to supplement your income. Number two, you want to replace your income. Or number three, you want financial freedom. You need to decide which one of these you fall in. And of course, the level of commitment for financial freedom is a lot greater than the one for supplemental income. So I want you guys to type in the chat right now, which one of these three categories you guys see yourself in. Because I'm going to help you, because here's what happens. You will find a lot of people that say, I want to replace my income, but they got supplemental income activities. You're going to find people that are going to say, oh, well, I want financial freedom, but they want to work 3 hours a week. Well, that's not going to cut it, right? So we got to make sure that that's the case. Once you decide which one of these you're on, here's what I recommend that you do as well. Text your direct sponsor and your mentor, your next upline mentor, which one of these categories you're in, especially those of you guys that are in the replace your income and financial freedom. The reason why is because the leadership is going to want to work with those people, especially that have big goals. If you want to just supplement your income, you don't need a whole lot of support. And if you do, we got the support for you, right? But you want to identify which one of these you find yourself in, okay? So the first step is you want to identify why you're doing the business. This has to be specific. Some of you guys have been involved in network marketing in the past, have heard this a million times. This is absolutely critical. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. You got to know where you're going. Why you're doing the business, I recommend that you be specific, right? And you write down your goals. You should have a notepad where you write down why you're doing the business. Maybe it's to send your kids to a private school. If that's the case, what private school? How much does that private school cost? If it's, I want to get a new Mercedes. Great. What year is that Mercedes? What color? What model? What color interior? Have you seen it? You want to make it vivid. You want to be very specific about what you want. You want to write it down. And the way that I teach people to write down their goals is write it down as if it already happened. I'm so happy and grateful now that fill in the blank. You want to have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Okay. If you just write goals like, I want to be a six-figure earner. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a six-figure earner. That's great, but that's going to take some time to get there. So you should have some smaller goals. And there's magic when you have goals and you're checking them off or crossing them off because you've accomplished them. Then something happens in your subconscious mind. Something happens in your subconscious mind that you're a go hitter, right? That you are progressing, that this is working for you. So maybe it's get my first sale. I'm so happy and grateful now that I got my first sale on or before whatever date is. Maybe it's a watch that you want to buy or whatever, or a purse for the ladies, right? Whatever the case may be, write down those goals and then have the habit of crossing them out. Okay. We talked about that already. Midterm, short-term goals. Identify. This has to be written down. You have to identify, hey, what am I going to give up? Something's got to give. Here's a bottom line. If you could have the things that you wanted, being the person that you are today, you would have already had them. Right? Think about that. Think about what I just said. If you could have the things that you wanted, being the person that you are right now, you would have already had them. So we got to change. We got to do something different. That also means that there's some things that we are currently doing that we have to stop doing. For me, a long time ago, I used to play too much poker with my friends during the week. We used to stay up late, and it was a bunch of friends that weren't going anywhere. So you want to identify what is it that you're willing to give up. So for example, again, you want to be specific, but you want to write that down. It could be golfing for some people. It could be bowling. It could be poker, whatever the case may be. I remember one of the things I also had to give up back in the days around the same time I was playing poker is spending so much time with my girlfriend. Two things I did. I played too much poker and I spent too much time with my girlfriend. And then I had other friends that were in real estate or other industries that were succeeding, but they were working more. They were paying attention more. They were getting trained more. Identify and write down what you're willing to give up and be specific. Okay. And you want to give this a minimum of an 18-month commitment. Okay. A minimum of an 18-month commitment. This is your solar business. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I want to drive something home. I have recruited owners of their own home security business, owners of their own solar business. And when they look at the numbers, they tell me, JC, one of the guys told me, you make more money on a deal than even I, as the owner of this office, makes on a deal. He says, if I don't make the move, my people will eventually make the move when they see you. Here's the difference though. It costs that dude tens of thousands of dollars to get his company up and running. It cost him $10,000 plus a month in overhead with his office and a couple of employees and whatnot. When I saw that, I realized what we get for $85 a month is a legitimate solar business. Therefore, it should be treated as a legitimate solar business. But people wanted to pay him like a solar business, but they treat it like a hobby. So guess what? It's going to make you hobby money, right? The money that Jonathan Bernasso, Jared, and I make, and a lot of people on here, guess what? It's not hobby money. It's big time money. When these guys write a check, the bank bounces. Does that make sense? So if you want to make that kind of money, guess what? It takes that kind of commitment, right? The next thing is you want to make your list. And here's a bottom line. You want to put down a minimum of 100 names and numbers. It's got to be written down. It is not your cell phone. It's got to be written down. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to contact this list. Okay. You don't want to prejudge anybody, and you must get, because here's a goal. I want you guys to write this down. You have to get within 3 to 6 months. You've got to get 200 people to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are the solar pro, that you are in the solar industry, and that you are serious about the solar industry. How fast can you get 200 people to, when somebody thinks solar, they think of you? How fast can you do it? You could do that mighty fast. You could do that in a couple of days if you really wanted to. And I give people the scripts on what to do. So when you make your list of people, you're going to fire off phone calls. You're going to give these people a call, and you're going to let them know that you're in the solar industry, which I'm going to give you what the script is. What I find when people are, here's the deal though. Most people want to be successful, but most people are not going to be coachable. They're not going to do, there's a lot of information that's shared on here. We're not saying you're going to grab everything from every one of these trainings. You're going to grab some things and master some of those things. In the beginning though, you don't want to be a secret agent. You want to be a solar agent, a power agent. Most people are secret agents, even in real estate. I do talks, mindset training, sales trainings at real estate offices, Keller Williams, Century 21, Remax, a bunch. Okay. Some of those trainings are on YouTube. Guess what? I've had people that have been in real estate for 5, 6, 7 years. Then they come and tell me, as I'm doing coaching, right? Man, I had a neighbor or a friend or a cousin that sold his house and didn't tell me. And I didn't get the listing. I said, why did you not get the listing? Turns out that neighbor did not know that this dude was a realtor. I said, guess what? You deserve to not get the business. You know why? Because you're a secret agent. You're not a real estate agent. You're a secret agent. How could you get the business if your own neighbor doesn't know that you're a realtor, bro? So how soon can you get 200 people to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are a solar pro? Okay. Or not necessarily a solar pro, but in the solar industry, right? It takes time to be a solar pro. So here's the deal. There's two types of lists, homeowners list and Powur partners list. I put a list of everybody to inform them that I'm in the solar industry. And here's what I did. I called them and I let them know that I was in the solar industry. And based on their answer, I led either with the ambassador or the consultant or to get a bill. And we're going to get into that here shortly. Okay. So here's a KISS method. Here's the key to getting sales. 3 steps. Get the interest. Get the bill, get the appointment. At the end of the day, this is what it boils down to. Get the interest of the homeowner, get their utility bill, set an appointment, and of course, you're going to tag a mentor to help you close the deal. There's a lot to learn. There's the, how to read a utility bill, the MPU and inverters and solar panels and the different types of solar panels and a kilowatt hour. When I started, I was like, man, there's so much to learn. At the end of the day, I boiled it down. I said, what do I got to do? I got to get sales. Great. What are the steps to getting sales? Get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment. Great. While I'm doing that, a mentor is going to close it for me. I'm going to be plugging into the trainings and everything's going to make more sense. Right? This is what I want you to focus on, especially when you're new, and get your new people to focus on. So when I'm contacting a homeowner, here's what I say. After some small talk, of course, so let's say I call Mike and, hey, Mike, how are you? How's the family? How's the wife? Good. Awesome. Whatever, right? Then I say, hey, listen, Mike, reason why I'm calling you, bro, is because I actually just started a new career in the solar industry and I'm super excited about it. So I'm currently finishing up my certification and I need to design 4 more solar savings reports and present them. Could you help me out with this? Okay, now here's the deal. You don't have to buy anything. Just let me present it to you. And if you do allow me to present it to you, my company will actually give you a 3-night and 4-day stay in Vegas. How can I give them that? There's a company called Smart Solar Rep or Smart Sales Rep. Both of those domains lead to the same company. You get a 7-day trial. You can give somebody a free trip to Vegas. They just pay the taxes, like $30. Literally, they get 3 nights and 4 days in Vegas. There's also Cancun. There's Florida. There's all kinds of places. Okay, there's 22 different locations, and it's not the flight. It's a hotel stay because hotels are not booked most of the year. So if they're not booked most of the year, they want to book them because you're going to spend money at the casino. You're going to spend money at the restaurants and so on and so forth, right? It's a phenomenal program that a lot of people on my team are using. And it gets, at the end of the day, it gets appointments, right? So that is one way of contacting the homeowners. I leave it here for a while so you guys can screenshot it if you like. Okay. Now the membership, you get it for 7 days for free. You could try it, send unlimited of these out for 7 days. After that, it's like $37 a month. Okay. So you could cancel it before 7 days. So contacting the homeowner. Now, if they agree, here's what I get. I get the utility bill. I get the name, address, phone number, and email. That's really what you need. That's what you need to get. Now, granted, could you find out what size their electrical box is? Yes. What type of roof their roof is? Yes. Those are all good things to get. I do this to keep it simple. I don't want to overwhelm the new person. With this information, you can get that done. Right? With this information, you can get an appointment, you can get a sale. So let's move forward. So here's, again, contacting the homeowner. Hey, Jen, have you noticed your electric bill has been going up over the past few years? We've all gone through it, by the way, this presentation, this script. Yes, me too. Did you know that I recently started with a company called Powur Solar? And I'm actually now certified with Powur to help homeowners evaluate if solar is right for their home. And I can save them a ton of money on energy costs. Here's the thing about these scripts too, guys. Everything is a script. The best salespeople know their scripts. The best movies, your favorite movie, it's a script that people read. What I recommend is that you study the scripts that you're going to use. I'm not suggesting that you use every script. Some of them you may not feel comfortable using. Some of them you may feel more comfortable. But practice it over and over. Repetition, or in martial arts, we call this drills. Drills. We say drillers are killers, right? Here we're drilling the script. In martial arts, we drill the combination, right? Jab, cross, leg kick, jab, cross, leg kick, and you do that over and over and over, eventually the mind forgets, the body remembers, boom, and you just say it. It just flows out. You certainly don't want to make it sound like you're reading. This is you dedicating the time to your craft, dedicating the time to your business. Know the scripts, right? So this is a continuation. If solar didn't cost you anything out of pocket, would you be open to me showing you a solar savings report? Then you pause and you let them answer. Okay. Again, if they agree, collect the utility bill. You probably already know their name. Their address is on the utility bill, but collect that phone number and email. Okay. And then of course, tag a mentor. If they ask questions, I don't really, make it too complicated. Here's one thing that I used to say, and I still say to this day. Look, I'm not 100%. Let's say they ask questions of, if they qualify or not, or I heard that I don't qualify, whatever the case may be, right? Here's one of the things that I say often. There's 130 million homes in America that are plugged in to the energy grid, but only about 90 million qualify for solar. Let me look at your bill and see if your home even qualifies. I don't even know if your home's going to qualify. You want to have a nonchalant approach, right? It's not a complicated deal. I don't even know if you qualify, right? Look, there's 40 million homes that are not going to qualify. We're not, but at the end of the day, I'm offering them that trip to Vegas, right? Or am I asking them if they could do me a favor so I could design the solar savings report for them, right? I'm not making it complicated, right? So let's keep moving. If they ask questions, look, I'm barely going through my certifications, so I don't want to give you any false expectations, but my manager has X amount of years of experience. I can certainly connect you with him to answer your questions. I don't want to get, as a new person, into a back and forth conversation. It's best to be honest and let them know, look, I barely finished my certification or going through my certification. I'm going through the training. So I don't want to give you any false information. Why don't you let me connect you with my manager who's got 5 years of experience, 3 years, 7 years, whatever the case may be. Okay. I can certainly connect you with him to get your questions answered. What I want to do is I want to master getting this person in front of the closer, the presenter, right? The mentor, right? Of course, as long as they have some kind of interest in looking at solar. I don't want to sit down as a mentor with a homeowner that was dragged into that meeting either. If the guy is just flat out not interested, here's one thing that I learned a long time ago. Same thing applies to this business. If you have to drag them across the starting line, they're not going to cross the finish line, right? So it's a waste of time. But as long as they have a genuine interest, sure, why not? I'll take a look at it. Even if they're looking at it, listen, in California, for example, if they got a $200 a month bill and they want to look at the presentation mainly to get the Vegas trip, I'll take that all day because it's my job as a sales professional to get in front of them and present to them. I don't care what got them there, right? Okay, yeah, that got them there. But when they see the numbers and they see the value, all of a sudden, hey, it's not really that Vegas trip that I'm there. Not only that Vegas trip, I also use, if I didn't offer it to them ahead of time, I've also used it to close the deal, right? So I'll offer them that. It's a promotion that we've got going on this week. All right. So here's what we're doing with the utility bill. Okay, we're checking to see how many kilowatt hours they use, okay, and how much electricity is it that they really need, right? How many kilowatt hours are used in a year? So this is all very basic stuff. Again, this is a training specifically for new people. We're also going to check how much sun exposure their home gets and if there's any trees that are blocking the sun or other factors like that, okay? These are some of the things that is going to determine if they qualify for solar or not. So at the end of the day, the utility bill gives us how much electricity they're using and what they're paying for that electricity, which is all information that we as a mentor needs, right? And based on that information, we're able to design, because a lot of times new people, well, how do you know how many panels you should put? I don't know until I look at the bill and I request a proposal, and the proposal is going to show me how many bills they're going to need based on what I read on that bill as far as how much electricity they're using. So as far as contacting everybody else, right? You want to contact everybody else to get ambassadors, to get customers, and to get recruits. But the first thing, you've got to recruit yourself, right? You got to be, here's the thing. Some people want to be successful with Powur, but they're not fully committed themselves. They haven't even really recruited themselves. And that is one of the reasons why most people are not successful. They've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm going to give you what one of my keys to success was in this business. I made a decision, number one, to become a solar professional. I said, I'm going to be a solar professional. So in that aspect, I treated it as if, even if I didn't have the team building opportunity with Powur, I'm going to get a bunch of people, 1,000 people, to know that I'm the solar guy. When somebody thinks of solar, talks about solar, I'm the guy. I'm going to go to the networking groups. I'm going to be on social media so I could get that organic business. I recruited myself into the industry. You want to recruit your spouse if possible. If you have a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend that are working together, it is much more powerful and the support is there. Even if you don't recruit them to participate in the business, but it's important for the spouse to see what the business is about. That way, the spouse may say, I'm not interested, but I see what you're doing and I support you. That will take this a lot further. Because if one party doesn't have the spouse's approval or support, that makes it a lot harder. So recruit yourself, recruit your spouse, and then go out there and recruit the world. Okay. So, okay, good. I'm going to get into it here. So one of the things that we teach is a Powur business showcase. So this is your grand opening. This could be done in person, or these days this is done via Zoom. Okay. Anywhere from 5 to 12 people in this meeting is good, but you want to get the double amount of confirmations of the people that are going to show up. So what do I mean? You're inviting people to check out, and I'm going to give you the script now, to check out what it is that you're doing. Now, you could also do this with the Monday meeting events, right? That Bobby Smith hosts on Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific. But I'm talking about a specific one. For those of you guys that really want to grow your business, can you get 5 to 12 people on a Zoom meeting or even in person and have a presenter present the business for you? This is old school direct sales stuff. A team leader is going to help you launch. So here's how it goes. So here's the script. For those of you guys that want to build a business, you see the value building the business, right? Which a lot of people here do. That's why, our company is a fastest growing solar company. Hey, John, I just launched my solar business and I'm super excited about it. I'm actually going to be having my grand opening via Zoom because it's a nationwide company. So basically my goal is to show people how to become our affiliates for free, because we actually pay $1,000 per referral of anybody you send us that goes solar. Can I count on you to make it? Notice how I'm letting them know that my goal is to get affiliates for free. Affiliates are ambassadors, because we pay $1,000 per referral. I just launched my solar business. I'm excited about it. I'm doing this grand opening via Zoom, because our company is a nationwide company, right? Now, this would also work in person. If you're somebody, you get 5, 10, 12 people to your house to see the business. Somebody comes out there and presents to them. At the very least, you should end up with a couple of ambassadors. And by the way, how many ambassadors, for those of you that attend my trainings, how many ambassadors should you have within the first year? How many ambassadors should you have within the first year of starting this business? Okay, if anybody can remember. So when I'm doing this here, what is it that I'm aiming for? I'm aiming to get ambassadors, right? Ambassadors is what I'm aiming to get to. 50, exactly. 50 ambassadors. Here's the deal. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. How many ambassadors do you have? The more ambassadors you have, and if you are in communication with these ambassadors, that will lead to sales. Ambassadors will lead to sales and they'll lead to consultants. Because sometimes an ambassador sends you somebody, that somebody goes solar, and you let them know, congrats, you just earned $1,000. By the way, Chris, did you know that you could have earned $3,200 on this deal? How's that possible? Well, had you been a consultant, bro, you would have earned half the commission. The commission was $6,400. So half would have been $3,200. That's literally a true story that happened with one of my investors I like to tell all the time. It's a real estate agent. Guess what? He became a consultant and he went out and closed like 4 deals, within a 2-month period, 4 additional deals. But I led with a very non-threatening approach of an ambassador. So your goal, one of the golden nuggets I'm going to give you here, you should have no less than 50 ambassadors within your first year. And there's no excuse. Your neighbor, your mom, your family members should all be ambassadors. Okay, let's keep going. Example. Okay, let's say you invite 20 people, 12 agree to show up, 8 actually show up. From that, let's say you get 2 consultants and 5 to 8 ambassadors. Why? Because everybody should be your ambassador. And 1 to 2 utility bills. Would this be a successful launch? absolutely it would be a successful launch, right? Okay, so here's the script that I used when I was new. Okay, this is a very soft approach. It's not a sales approach at all. It is a soft approach. So I give the person a call. After the small talk, I say, listen, I wanted to give you a call. Hey, John, listen, the reason why I wanted to call you, bro, is because I want to let you know that I just got started in the solar industry, and 2 bullet points. And I'm very excited, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 15 to 20 years. Next point. Anyways, I'm just letting you know, in case you know of anybody who either 2 more bullet points has questions about solar, or anybody that may be interested in going solar, I'd appreciate if you'd keep me in mind. It's not, dude, whether they're homeowners, not homeowners, ambitious or not ambitious, successful or not. If you literally make a list and actually call people with this script, here's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for them to reply anything positive. Then we leave with the ambassador or the consultant, right? Hey, listen, John, the reason why I'm calling you, bro, is because just want to let you know that I just got started in the solar industry, and man, I'm super excited about this, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 15 to 20 years. Anyways, man, just letting you know, in case you know of anybody who, you know, either has questions about going solar, or anybody that may be interested in going solar. And anybody has questions about solar, or anybody that may be interested in going solar, I'd appreciate if you'd keep me in mind. Simple. Now I shut up and I wait for their response, because here's what happens. If they tell me anything positive, here's what I say. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, bro. By the way, our company has a really cool ambassador program where they'll actually pay you $1,000 for anybody that you refer to us that decides to go solar. Simple. If they brush you off, guess what? Move on. If they just say, yeah, I'll keep you in mind. Notice that tonality has a lot to do with it, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Sounds good, bro. I'm in a meeting, man, but yeah, I'll keep you in mind. You don't take it personal. When you are making these calls, because remember, you're making a lot of calls. The problem is people make a 20-person list, and then they get 5 people that are not good, and then they think, man, that's a fourth of my list gone, and then that affects them going into the next one. Your list, it can make you a ton of money. I've got people that started 6 months ago that started actually paying attention to this, because this training, I got to record it, and it's done much better in my academy, teamfreedomtraining.net. This training is already there. So when they actually start to do it, they realize, JC, damn it, I should have done what you said in the Fast Start training a long time ago. I started doing it. Now I'm seeing the results. So anyways, if they brush you off, make the next phone call. And here's another thing I recommend. Block out the time. Make your list, block out the time to make your list. Then block out the time to make the phone calls. So let's say from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., I got a list of 120 people. From 3 p.m. to 2 p.m., I'm going to call as many of those people as possible. Maybe the next first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you're practicing the script, right? Practicing it so it's the mind forgets, the body remembers. Then you spend the other 40 minutes to an hour firing off phone calls, right? So let's keep it going. Okay, here's another one. This is the same script, but instead of saying you started in the solar industry, kind of like a job, you're doing it more from an entrepreneur standpoint, like you started your solar business. So notice it's the same thing, but we change a couple things. I just want to give you a call to let you know that I just started my solar business, and I'm super excited about this. And I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to be building for the next 15 to 20 years. Anyways, I'm just letting you know, in case you know of anybody who either has questions about solar, or anybody that may be interested in going solar, I'd appreciate if you'd keep me in mind. I'd appreciate if you keep my company in mind. Notice, similar, very similar, but so let's say you're already an entrepreneur and you have clientele and you got people that respect you. This is a different approach. You're letting them know that you're starting your solar division. You started your solar company, right? So it's very similar, but we just switched it up a little bit. Again, if they reply with anything positive, I appreciate that. By the way, the grand opening, I'm having a grand opening via Zoom because it's a nationwide business. The goal is to show people how to become our affiliates for free. And we pay $1,000 for any referral that you send to us that goes solar. Can I count on you to make it? It'd mean a lot to me. This is if you want to push them to the Monday opportunity presentation, or maybe you want to push them to have your own grand opening. Some of you guys have more credibility than other people. But let me tell you what built for decades network marketing companies. what they call PBRs, private business receptions. And it was, back then we didn't have Zoom. It was in person in the living rooms. And we got people to make a list of people, call with the scripts, and we got 10 confirmations, 12 confirmations, half will show up. We will show up and present. Now it's easier. You can do it via Zoom. It's so much easier. But because it's easier, people have gotten softer. People have gotten more lazy. I'm not saying nobody here is lazy. Of course, nobody here is lazy, right? But people in general, right, have gotten more lazy, right? So anyways, this is something that's worked for me big time. So remember, this is a contact sport, meaning the more people you contact, the better you're going to do. You want to be unemotional about the outcome. When you're making these phone calls, it is a numbers game. I don't care. And let me tell you something about if you go out there and approach like this, you will be surprised by the amount of people that say to you, yes, when you thought they were going to say to you, no. Or the people that you think will do it, won't do it. The people you think won't, will. So you don't want to prejudge anybody. You want to contact as many people as possible. And again, your goal is 50 ambassadors in the first year. Okay. Now, when it comes to the three-way calls, as I'm building this business, because I'm a big builder, I've been qualified 6 levels for years now, right? I'm all about building. The way that I got to #1 mentor in the company is not because I'm a better salesperson, solar sales guy than, most people. I'm not. I think I'm decent. It's because I get more warm leads than anybody else. I turn away leads daily, a bunch of leads daily, because of the team building structure. So here's what happens. When I get somebody interested in the business, especially when I'm new, I do what's called the PS3. Peak interest, show the plan, 3-way call. So let's say I'm talking to Jared and Jared and I having a conversation, and then I say, by the way, Jared, let me ask you something. I know that you're, crushing it with ADT. Have you ever considered adding solar as a part of what you offer your customers? It's a very simple approach. Okay, so he says yes. Okay, great. Well, Jared, the fact that you're open to it, let me do this. I'm going to send you a 3-minute video, bro. Take a look at the 3-minute video. And if that piques your interest, let's have a conversation. Does that sound fair enough?
Sounds good. Send it over.
So I have a video. It's on YouTube, and I got a link for it. It's called solargoldrushvideo.com. It's a video that I like. I made it. I wrote the script for it. I got it made. It's a generic video about the solar industry, but it's really about our company, but it doesn't mention Powur. It's a generic video. What I want Jared to do is to see a full presentation, whether it's like the Monday evening, a live event, like a Super Saturday, a Powur Day, or a pre-recorded presentation. So ideally, I want him to watch that full presentation, but let's say he's busy, he's always out and about. I got this video to pique his interest. It's a 3-minute video. He could watch it while he's having lunch, right? 3 minutes. That video is designed to pique his interest enough so he could get a full exposure. So once I pique his interest, right? He says, hey, you know what, JC, I took a look at the video. Sounds good. I could either invite him to an event or get him to watch a full recorded presentation. Jonathan has a great 12, 14-minute presentation. I have a great 12-minute presentation and a 15-minute Spanish presentation. You pick whatever presentation you like the best. But step 1 is pique the interest. Step 2 is, now that I've piqued his interest, I show the plan with the video, right? Or the live event. So I pique his interest by asking, or by that short video. Show the plan, meaning we show him the business. After he's done, especially if I'm new, I don't know much. What do? I do a 3-way call with an expert. I've gotten Jonathan Brunasso on 3-way calls. Sometimes I recruit some solar pros. They're asking me questions that I didn't understand, especially when I was newer. I edified Jonathan Brunasso. Because see, you got the P here. The P is a prospect. The Y is you. And the E is, your expert, right? So in this case, let's say that's Jonathan Brunasso, me and my prospect. Let's say my prospect and I, we used to work together. So there's trust there, but there's not really credibility there, right? Because he's like, well, I know you're not a solar pro, JC. You just started in solar. So I can't come across like Mr. Know-it-all, but I could do a third-party person, in this case, Jonathan Brunasso, edify him. Listen, I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman who I'm working with, who's my mentor. This guy's 7 years in the industry, absolute stud. He's a 7-figure earner with the company. He can answer all of your questions. I know you got a bunch of questions. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Let me see if Mr. Brunasso has some time so I can get him on a 3-way call with us. I edify Jonathan. So when this guy gets on, here's the deal. When the prospect gets on the phone call with the expert, We want to make sure that the respect is built up, that this guy knows. I want to basically make it seem like Jonathan glows in the dark and walks on water, right? I want Jonathan to be the man. So when this dude gets on the phone, he's listening. He's all ears. But here's how you know when they haven't done the proper edification. If the prospect is multitasking, he's not really paying attention, he's not taking it serious, right? So I edify him. Now, this is if needed. Sometimes they might ask you, you know, some basic questions. How much is the monthly again? Whatever. Some basic questions like that you could answer. Go ahead and ask them, answer them, but get the guy started, right? Okay. So I'm going to go through a couple of different approaches and then we're going to be done. Okay. So this is a shorter, well, actually, we're almost done here. So this is a generic invite to invite people to take a look at the business. I'm going to go through a couple of different invites that I've used till this day, right? So, hey, John, what are you doing on Monday at 5 o'clock that's more important than learning how to make $100,000 per year from home? What are you doing on Monday or whatever time it is, Saturday morning, whatever time it is, that's more important then? And notice the blue, you can replace the blue. How to make $100,000 a year from home, how to replace your income from home, how to be financially free, how to send your kids to a private school, whatever the person's motivation is, you can fill in the blank there. This is more of an aggressive approach. So if I have a red personality, somebody that's, you know, let's say he's a real estate agent that, you know, drives a big body Benz and has a Ferragamo belts and stuff like that, that is a red personality type of dude. They will generally be more open to a direct, aggressive approach. I'm not going to do this with somebody who's maybe a stay-at-home mom, super sweet and nice, right? I might take a little bit of a different approach, right? I might say, hey, I'll still do the same one, but she wants to, you know, take more family vacations, right? I might mention the family vacations or whatever the case may be. Sarah, if 10 years ago you knew what you know now about eXp Realty and you had the opportunity to have invested or gotten involved, would you have done it? A lot of us, we know what's up with eXp Realty. We know what a big opportunity that was. They answer yes. Awesome. I've got something bigger than eXp. When can we meet? Or let me send you some information. Or get her to the event. I've used this one to recruit a whole lot of people because I was one of those people. I saw eXp in 2014. And when I saw it in 2014, the guy that told me about it, I said no. By like 2019, the guy was making $200,000 per month in override income. So to me, when they told me about Powur being like the EXP of the solar industry, I was all in, right? So there's a continuation. I've got something bigger than EXP. Let me send you a video for you to check out, right? If they ask, what is it? It's actually the #1 fastest growing solar company in the world. It's like the Uber of the solar industry. If they ask that question, right, you could have your different answers. So I'm just giving you some ideas of some of the things to say, okay? Mike, have you ever considered the solar industry? Again, a generic invite. Mike, have you ever considered the solar industry? Well, look, I just got started working with a solar company, and some of these guys are making a killing, okay? If you're open to checking it out, let me know. I'll send you some information. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. Even when I'll even prospect my waiter at a restaurant, right? I'll prospect anywhere because people are looking for an opportunity. Let me tell you something. People know that solar is on the rise and people know that there's money in solar. There's a lot, they just don't know where to go. But my recommendation is build a business, even if you're not a mentor yet. I got to mentor in 11 weeks, but 11 weeks with no experience, cold market, visiting new homeowners, door knocking new homeowners. By week 11, I had a team of 40 people. By the time I got to mentor in 11 weeks, this is like June 2020, because I got started 2 weeks after the pandemic, the shutdown. I got started late March, early April 2020. By about June, I hit mentor and I have 40 people on my team. Since June 2020, I've never had to look for a lead ever again. I am overwhelmed with leads. I've closed almost 300 deals with Powur. The last year and a half, I've worked 26 hours a week on average. The last year and a half. I hit top mentor last year working 26 hours per week. From 4 to 5, from 5 to 6, I take my son to jiu-jitsu every single day. I pick him up from school and I take him to school. I'm only saying that to you guys because team building works. This is just some of the things that I did, but you got to master them. Am I telling you to memorize every single script? No. Take what will work for you, what you like, and disregard what you don't like, right? So we do one more, we're done. So this is an approach that I take with some of my friends, right? People in real estate, salespeople. This is more of a direct approach with somebody that I know. This is literally what I say, bro. This is what I said, especially when I was new. Bro, eventually everyone's going solar. And people in this company, they're making between $6,000 and $7,000 per sale. Now, if they're not interested at the moment, okay, no worries. I'll keep you informed, you know, how things go. Even in recruiting, when people ask, or let's say they're not interested, I say, hey, no problem. You know, is it okay with you, Jonathan, if I keep you informed from time to time? Yes, I had a buddy, Jose. He says, nah, he's a real estate broker. He says, I'm okay, bro. I didn't have any credibility. I say, hey, no big deal, because I wanted to get him as a, actually, when I started, there was no ambassador. I wanted to get him as a consultant. There was no ambassador when I started. And then he says, not right now, bro. You know, I got a lot going on. I said, no problem, Jose. Is it okay if I keep you informed from time to time? He said, yeah, that's fine. So as I started taking my business seriously, I would keep him informed like every 2-3 months. Eventually, I signed the dude up. So I signed him up probably in 2021. Him and his team have closed over 20 sales. That's not a whole lot in 2 years, but that's one person. That dude led me to a lady who I closed. That lady gave me 5 deals that closed. 6 leads. Out of the 6 leads, I closed all 5, all friends and family members. She had a lot of credibility with her family. Because I told this guy, hey, no problem. Is it okay if I keep you informed from time to time? And guess what? I keep him informed from time to time. Now he's a part of the business, right? He constantly closes deals, sends business. He don't even send it to me. He sends it to my brother now. My brother handles, that's his account. He has a real estate office with like 30 agents. He's now with eXp Realty. He saw the model that we had, and I even encouraged him. They're recruiting to eXp. I would do eXp if I were you. He's now with eXp, and he's got like 5-6 people here that are paid members that send business. So, but that's just one person from that one conversation. Now, when I barely approached them, I didn't recruit them. But guess what? When I didn't recruit them, I didn't have the credibility. And I know that I'm not going to recruit everybody right away, but the follow-up, the fortune's in the follow. And the last one is this, because I know that we're already at 11 a.m. Do you keep your income options open to side projects if the money's attractive enough? This is a great cold market approach. If you want to get out of your comfort zone, I'm over here at the restaurant, right? I get somebody who gives me great service. I let them know, hey, man, by the way, you've given me some of the best service that I've ever received. You're awesome. Oh, thank you. I'll very often, if that is indeed the case, I'll say, do you have a manager I could talk to? They say yes. They'll call the manager over. I'll say, I just wanted to recognize this young man. He's giving me some of the best service that I've ever gotten. He deserves a raise. They're like, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. We're going to keep that in mind, right? Eventually, before I'm leaving, I'll prospect them. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? He's going to say no. Hey, by the way, let me ask you something, man. I really like your attitude, and I think you're an absolute winner. Let me ask you something. Something I even throw off the record. Let me ask you something off the record. Would you happen to keep your income options open to side projects if the money is attractive enough? Very often, they're going to say yes. Sure, what is it you do? I'm in the solar industry. Let's do this. Let's exchange numbers. I'm going to send you some information. How about that? And then we can talk another time. I know you're working right now. Yeah, sounds good. I'll literally, and here's a trick. You get your phone, you look down at your phone, you ask, what's your number? And I look down on my phone. I don't look at them till they start giving me their phone number. Then I type their phone number into my phone, and guess what? I'm going to send them a peak interest video, 3-minute. I send a 3-minute video, or you can send a full presentation. Literally, I could go out there every single day if I wanted to and recruit one person, maybe 2 people per day, just doing that. If I really wanted to and talk to a lot of people. But I'm not saying for you to go out there and recruit people, right? But recruit while you're out. Don't go out to recruit, but recruit while you're out. Just while you're living your life, go out there and recruit while you're out. So anyways, this training, ladies and gentlemen, is already recorded in the Training Academy, and it's done a lot better, okay? I was actually practicing it before I did it and recorded it. This one here, they asked me, and I said, yes, I'll do it. And I think it was a good one, but I think it's even better in the Academy. So anyways, Jonathan, I'm going to give it back to you.
Wow. Thank you, JC. You know, I've seen this a few times, guys, but it always remotivates me, and I always pick up new tricks, and JC comes with new training and new lines. So big shout out to JC. Put it in the chat, everyone. How thankful we are for him to train the field. And like he said, that's part of the culture in the community here. All the top leaders are training and helping everyone. Unlike at other solar companies where they don't want to share or help anyone. So if you thought that was beneficial, put it in the chat. And just one more reminder here too, to help JC's event and the event that he hosts annually outside of Powur, out of his pocket here, and mentorfactory2023.com, July 21st to 22nd. Again, 2 days, drive in, fly in, catch a train, do whatever you need to do. And make sure to check out his podcast, his YouTube as well. This training will be put on Facebook, on YouTube, all over. Check out his 3-minute video and everything he does, guys. This is all gold and all nuggets. If you're not doing some of these items, then you're missing the boat. So huge shout out. Jared, any last words on this before we end the recording?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, JC, bringing the fire as always, brother. I appreciate you, man. And one thing I hope, I don't know if you guys caught this, but a huge quick start training, right? Breaking it down. Not once did he say anything about a panel, a module, racking, shading, offset, inverters, warranty, nothing. Because that's not what gets you paid in the beginning. What gets you paid is taking action, reaching out and going for utility bills and going after other entrepreneurs to help build your team. You will learn all the other stuff once you get those utility bills while you're working with a mentor. But so often I see those, it's over-analysis, causes paralysis, right? They're sitting back, they're in knowledge base, they're watching videos and YouTube, they're trying to learn everything about solar before trying. That is the wrong approach. What JC, man, this is, straight fire. And you build it with excitement, enthusiasm, right? That is what catches people's attention, your excitement. That's what attracts others.
That's right.
The rest of the pieces fall into place. So thank you, JC, for reiterating that point. I always preach that to people, but the proof is in the pudding, guys. This is the #1 recruiter, mentor with the company. So pick up what he's laying down. Brother, I appreciate you, champ.
Thank you, Jarrett. Yeah, thank you, JC. Again, we'll go ahead and end this recording and stay around for a Q&A office hour section for about 20 minutes or so. And a big shout out to JC Rangel and his team and everything he does for us.